Once again, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the final day of the 2023 TYR Pro Championships here in Irvine, California. Whether you're joining us in venue or online at youtube.com on the USA Swimming channel, we're so glad that you're here. 200 backstroke will kick us off in just a few moments. 100 freestyle, 200 breaststroke, 200 butterfly. Looking at about an hour and 45 minutes of swimming this morning. Got to find some ABC finalists across the board. We've had 3 great days of competition. We expect for another fantastic morning and then subsequent afternoon of distance swimming and evening of finals. First event up of the morning is the women's 200 backstroke. The big trial cut that a lot of people are looking for is that 2:13.59. We'll keep an eye on that. It'll be marked by OT on the scoreboard, both in the venue and online. Without further ado, our first event of the morning is event number 25, women's 200 backstroke. We have 4 heats. Heat 1. Heat 1 of the women's 200 backstroke on its way. Rosie Murphy of UCLA Swimming gets us started in lane 2. Annika Macaron of Cal Aquatics in 4. Her teammate Ian Mataketis in 5. Sia Polito of Southern Illinois Aquatic in 6. And Claire Jansen of the University of Pittsburgh in lane 7. Polito led at the 50. She leads at the 100. 106.03 on the way out. 106.43 a tie for second between Murphy and Jansen. The outside lanes here in Heat 1. Final turn, we've got a new leader as Rosie Murphy goes to 34.9 on her third 50. The flags into the wall, and Murphy will win the heat with a 2:17.16. Heat number 1 win. And Rosie Murphy of UCLA Swimming. 2:17.70. Claire Jansen in second, and Polito in third with a 2:19.3. Heat 2. Two in the water, Gina Jorgensen of Club Husker in lane 1. Natalie Mannion of Alto Swim Club in 4. Olivia Lafaux out of Australia in 5. Alicia Wilson of Mission Viejo in 6. Coast Panic, Long Island Aquatic Club in 7. And Paige Hall of Ohio State in 8. Manning out quick, 31.84. Continues to lead in the halfway mark, 105.56, 7/10 of a second ahead. Alicia Wilson, who's in lane 6. And seated with a 2:10.81. This time for Mannion is that 2:10.81. Swam at the international team trials a year ago in the A final. Greensboro, North Carolina. Mannion continuing to lead, 34.75 at the third touch. Wilson continues to be just behind, only about 6/10 of a second rather. Wilson's best time listed as a 2:13.56. Bunching back up as they get to the final touch here in heat number 2. And Wilson will win it at a 2:15.52, our best time so far. Belongs to Wilson of Mission Viejo. Mannion in second at the 2:15.63 and a 2:16.04 for Lafaux, finishing in third. Those are your top 3 times of the morning. 2 heats still to go in the women's 200 backstroke. Heat 3. Heat 3 of the women's 200 backstroke on its way. Morgan Krause of Ohio State in 1. Zoe Hartman out of Athens Bulldog Swim Club in 2. Elise Heiser, Indiana Swim Club in 3. Josephine Fuller of Tennessee Aquatics in 4. Caroline Betts of Virginia Tech in 5. Philip Pantano of Gamecock Aquatics in 6. Abby Taut of the University of Missouri in 7. And Alex Roberts of Aztec Aquatics is in lane 8. Josephine Fuller has the lead. She's out in the 30.8. Fuller continuing to look strong out in the 104.0 on her way out in this 200 backstroke heat number 3. Fuller third at the U.S. Open last December. It's also where she swam her best time, 2:09.77. Nobody yet under that Olympic trial cut. Fuller already has punched her ticket with that 2:09.7 at the U.S. Open. 138.77, the split 34.7 on that third 50. Bentz making a charge back. She's within half a second of Fuller's lead. Outsplits her by about 0.2 of a second on that third 50. 2:15.52 is the top time so far. That belongs to Alicia Wilson of Mission Viejo. No one yet to find that Olympic trial cut this morning. Will Fuller be the first to get under the mark? That is the case. 213.4. You see that OT next to her name, indicating she's gotten under the standard, although she's already done that within the qualifying period. Bentz in second with a 214.67 and a 214.96 for Elise Heiser. Those are your top three swims with one heat still to go. Heat 4. In the water, Heat 4, Taylor McCoy of SoCal Aquatics in 1, Maya DeWitt and Anna Freed in 2 and 3, both from Indiana Swim Club. Phoebe Bacon of Wisconsin Aquatics in lane 4, Hannah Fredericks of Australia in 5, Sophie Bryson, of Dynamo Swim Club in 6, Emma Wyatt of Gator Swim Club in 7, and Kelsey Cooper of Boilermaker Aquatics is in 8. Bacon with the lead, 30.87 for her. Meters down, Bacon still in the lead, 104.0. Near identical split to Josephine Fuller. Bacon ranked as the third fastest woman in American history in this event. 205.08 her seed time and best time. The sixth fastest woman in world history as well. Final turn for Bacon continues to lead, 33.8 on that third 50. Fredericks about 0.8 of a second back. And Freed in third, about 2 seconds behind. $213.59, the Olympic trial standard that a lot of our swimmers are looking for. Bacon's going to touch first, 211.63. Fredericks in second, 212.97. Freed in third, 214.65. So Phoebe Bacon will have the top time of the morning. Heading into tonight's A final. As we've done all week, give us a few moments. We'll make sure all the results are right where we want them. And then we'll show them on the big screen. ABC finalists in the women's 200 backstroke moments away. All right, let's take a look at our finalists. Here are your A finalists on the board. Phoebe Bacon, your top seed, took a 2:15.5 to make it back. Hannah Fredericks, Josephine Fuller, Anna Freed, Caroline Bentz, Elise Heiser, Emma Wyatt, and Alicia Wilson, all in that A final. Your B finalists, Mannion, Lafaux, Pantano, Kraus, Hall, Jorgensen, Murphy, and Jansen. 2:17.70 to make it into the B. 2:20.1 to get that second swim. DeWitt, McCoy, Roberts, Hartman, Polito, McEnroe, Bryson, and Stepanek all in the C final. Current time is 9:13. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. On to the men's 200 backstroke we go. Event 26 officially. Looking at 5 heats this morning. Heat 1. Heat 1 in the water, Tim Gallagher in lane 3. Tommy Roeder of California Aquatics in 4. And Sam Parker of Georgia Coastal in lane 5. Gallagher had the edge at the 50. Continues to have the edge at the 100, 59.7. Parker, a 1:001. Gallagher continuing to look strong, 2:00 to his personal best time in this event. He's going to touch with the top mark of 2:01.91, winning heat number 1, setting our top mark in the men's 2 back. Heat 2. In the water here in Heat 2, Mark McCurry of Trojan Swim Club in 1, Jack Easton of the Dallas Mustangs in 2, Yuri Kosian of North Carolina Aquatic Club in 3, Zach Hills of Athens Bulldog Swim Club in 4, Jacques Wingert of Evolution Racing Club in 5, Tyler Hawk of Princeton Tigers in 6, and Jake McGahee of Athens Bulldog Swim Club in lane 7. Kosian leading the way, 29.19 on the first 50. 500ths of a second ahead of Wingert, who's in 5. One 002 continues to look very smooth on the opening 100 meters. His lead at 0.3 of a second over Tyler Hong, who's in 6. All 5 of these men seated with yards times. Finger's personal best in the event, listed as a 2:05.70 from Junior Nationals last summer. The 19-year-old on his way to a Heat 2 win. Best time of the morning so far, that 2:01.91. Tim Younger in Heat 1. Winger will win it, a 2:03.69 for him. Second place, a 2:04.90 for Cussian, and then Hong in third at a 2:06.60. Heat 3. Swimming in Heat 3 in 1 from Longhorn Aquatics, Nathan Cornerman. Lane 2 from the Dallas Mustangs, Rob McCall. Lane 4 from Australia, Ty Hartwell, his countrymate Thomas Hawk in 5. Landon Triggers of Tennessee Aquatics in 6. Eric Stelmar, the University of Alabama, in 7. Hawk out quick, 27.9, our first sub 28.50 of the morning. Hartwell out very fast as well, 28.03. Driggers alongside the two Aussies at a 28.29, 0.4 of a second back from Hawk's lead after 50 meters. First of our 3 circle-seated heats in the water now, already to the halfway point. Top time in the morning so far, 2:01.91. Nobody under that Olympic trial standard just yet. Looking to add a few more participants in next summer's pool in a football stadium. 58.87 Triggers move us up into second at the 100 meters. 58.59 though. Thomas Hawk leading the way. Hartwell only 0.3 back from the lead of Hawk. Final turn, Hartwell now in the lead. He goes a 29.7 on that third 50 to absolutely blow everyone out of the water heading into the final turn. What an impressive back half of this Heat 3 200 backstroke. Being turned in from Ty Hartwell. He's going to touch it a 158.85. A 2:00.59 for Landon Driggers, finishing in second in the heat. That's the best time for him, and then a 2:01.18 for Hawk, finishing in third. Those are your top 3 times of the morning. 2 heats still to go in the men's 2 back. Heat 4. Aaron Sika-Ira of Alto Swim Club in 1. Brendan Burns of Indiana Swim Club in 2. Tristan Yankovic of Ohio State in 3. A pair of Athens Bulldogs in 4 and 5. Ian Grum and Bradley Dunham. Jake Markham of the University of Alabama in 6. Dylan Bureau, Boilermaker Aquatics in 7. And Parker McCumber of Utah Aquatics in 8. Dunham's got the lead, 27-63. McCumber in lane 8, actually in second, 28-21. Dunham with the fastest opening 50 we've seen so far this morning. Grum in third, actually, with a 28-28. Looks as if Grum has moved into second, maybe even into the lead. Dunham actually still has the lead, 58-37 on the opening 100. 58-6 for Grum. Jankovic in third. The Buckeye out in the 59-0. Jankovic, Grum, and Dunham have all been sub 2 minutes before in their career. Best time 1:56.32 from the national championships just a few weeks ago. Final touch though, and it's Jankovic taking the lead. He's 31-0 on that third 50. Grum 0.2 of a second back. Dunham almost 0.4 of a second back. Jankovic continues to look as if he has the lead. Grum trying to challenge as we hit the final few strokes of this Heat 4 200 backstroke. Jankovic will win it 201.16, 201.86 for Grum, and a 202.01. Sequeira in lane 1. Jumping over all sorts of people down that final 50. To take third. Heat 5. Despite the looks of it, this is the final heat of the event. Only 3 swimmers in the water. Sometimes that's what happens. Jack Aikens, our 100 backstroke champ from Swim Atlanta, is in lane 4. Sam Powell of Athens Bulldog Swim Club in 6. And Harrison Lears of Tennessee Aquatics in 7. 27-4 for Aikens on the opening 50. 28-1 for Powell in lane 6. His best time, a 1:56.04 from Nationals at the end of June in Indy. He's out in a 57.88. Won a best time yesterday in the 100 backstroke, cracking the top 20 all-time performers in American history in the men's 100. Aikens continues to lead. Question now is, will he post the top time, or will Ty Hartwell, the Australian from Heat 3, keep that top mark with the 1:58.85 he swam? Now seated with a 2:00.35. He's definitely right on pace to eclipse that. Harrison Lears, see where the 2:03.18. Fifth and final heat may not have had many, but it was an eventful one. 1:59.1. Jack Aikens getting under the 2-minute mark. Won't be our top seed, but will be well positioned heading into tonight's a final. 2:00.76 for Sam Powell, finishing in second, and a 2:03.40 for Harrison Lears. wrapping up the men's 200 backstroke. Got some I's, crossed some T's. We'll let you know the A final as well as the rest of our swimmers for tonight's 200 backstroke in just a few moments. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get those results to you in just a few moments. While we're waiting on that, let's swim some 100 freestyles. What do you say? Up next, event 27, women's 100-meter freestyle. 6 heats this morning. Heat 1. Smith Baker in 3, Gentry in 4, and Winter in 5. On command, here are your 200 backstroke finalists. We'll just read these, listen closely. Ty Hartwell, Jack Aikens, Landon Driggers, Sam Powell, Tristan Yankovic, Thomas Hawk, Ian Grum, and Tim Gallagher all into that A final. 2:01.91 and faster made the A. Aaron Sikaira, Bradley Dunham, Harrison Lears, Jacques Wigner, Dylan Burrow, Brendan Burns, Yuri Kusian, and Sam Parker into the B final. And then your C finalists, Quarterman, Hong, Markov, Stelmar, Roeder, McCall, McCrary, and Easton. 2:14.13 into the C final. Gentlemen, current time 9:33. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. Smith Baker winning heat number 1, 57.07. Heat 2. Irvine in 1, Kinnett 2, Reinstein 3, McCarty 4, Rumley 5, Longy 6, Goins 7. Heat 2 of the women's 100 freestyle. Heat 2 win belongs to Molly Goins on 56.60 for her top time through 2 heats. University of Missouri Tiger winning Heat 2, 56.89. Reinstein in second, 57.01. Kinnett in third. Heat 3. Barczyk in 1, Osborne 2, Smith in 3, Price in 5, Carlson 6, Smith in 7, and Davidson in 8. Heat 3 of the women's 100 freestyle. Price leads 26-8 on the first 50 here in Heat 3. Davidson in lane 8 was in second at the turn. Looks to be still right there on the mark. But it's Lily Price with the Heat win, 56.09. Top time so far belongs to the Aussie in lane 5. Second place was Davidson's 56.45. Third place, 56.54 for Sierra Smith in lane 3 from the University of Missouri. Heat 4. Turok in 1, Pagel in 3, O'Leary in 4, Nordman 5, Perkins 6, Cousin 7, and Ristic in 8. Heat 4 of the women's 100 freestyle in the water. First of our circle-seeded 100 freestyles. 56.09 top time so far. 55.79 is the Olympic trial cut. Pagel with the lead, 26.20 for her. The Indiana Swim Club 19-year-old team with a 54.66 still has the lead as we hit the final 15 meters. A good challenge coming from Alex Perkins of Australia in lane 6. Final 5 meters. It's Christina Pagel's 55.05. A great prelim swim. Top time of the morning belongs to her. Perkins in second with a 55.28. And Lily Norman in third, 55.43 for her. With a 55.05 top mark so far, 2 heats still to go. And it belongs to Christina Pagel of Indiana Swim Club. Heat 5. P5 of the women's 100 in the water. Riley in 1, Littlejohn 2, Stepanek 3, Fulmer 4, Manuel 5, Zinnik 6, and Wanizek in 8. $50 meters down, Manuel, the American record holder, out in the lead. 26.1 for her on the opening 50 meters. Amy Fulmer of Ohio State in second at the turn, 26.44. 26.6 for Zinnik in 6. The two Buckeyes trail the American record holder, Simone Manuel. Manuel has been obviously as fast as a 52.04 in her career. 55.05 is the top time so far this morning. Manuel's going to win the heat, and she's going to touch it a 54.44, our first sub-55 time of the morning, our top time of the morning. Both belong to Manuel. Amy Fulmer in second, 55.20. And Zinnik in third at a 55.41. Actually a tie there. Zinnik and Stepanek at 55.41. Heat 6. Sixth and final heat of the women's 100 freestyle. Johnson in 1, Duluth in 2, Ivy in 3, Katie Duluth in 4, Cooper in 6, Pintar in 7, and Shaw in 8. So Simone Manuel breaks 55 as our top time with this final heat still to go. 54.44 is the mark. 50 meters down, and Duluth leads 26.09 for her. 0.3 of a second lead over Isabel Ivy and Grace Cooper, who were tied at the turn at a 26.4. Katie Duluth, one of the top 20 women in American history in this event. 53.75, her best time. Duluth will touch the wall in the lead, and it'll be a 53.98. A great prelim swim from Katie Duluth. Our top time of the morning belongs to her. Getting under that 54 mark is the New York Athletic Club 26-year-old. Second place, Grace Cooper, 54.97 for her. Just a 1/10 of a second off of the best. And then a 55.08 for Isabel Ivy, finishing in third. So Duluth will sit atop the leaderboard heading into tonight's A final. We'll check to see who else made it in just a few moments. All right, all sorts of things to sort out here. So hang with us. Here we go. A finalists, Duluth, your leader. Joining her, Simone Manuel, Grace Cooper, Christina Pengel, Isabel Ivy, Amy Fulmer, and Alex Perkins. A tie for 8, 55.41. Close to Panic, the first of those two ties. And then Catherine Zinnik. So a coaching rep from Long Island Aquatic Club and from Ohio State need to make their way to the resolution desk. We'll need to figure that out. To the B final we go. We'll have to sort the swim off later. 55.42 for Gabby Duluth. She's in the B. Joining her, Nordman, Wanizek, O'Leary, Price. A tie for 15th, but that doesn't require a swim off between Riley and Kozin. Your C finalists now, 56.45 to 56.89. Davidson, Johnson, Smith, Turok, Goins, Shaw, Carlson, and Reinstein. 56.89 to find your way in for a second swim. Once again, coaching reps from Long Island and Ohio State to the resolution desk. Current time, ladies, 9:44. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. On to the men's 100 freestyle we go. It's event number 28. We're looking at 6 heats. Heat 1. Baczynski in 4, Toledo Sanchez in 5, Butler in 6. Baczynski, the Bazoo Tiger in lane 4, is leading the way into the wall, and he'll touch it a 50.41. Winning heat number 1, setting our top mark. Heat 2. Heat 2 of the men's 100 freestyle, almost all wrapped up. Mackinnon, Orlando, Saltman, Torrepe, Ormsby, Kowski, Curtis, and Gu in the water. It's Orlando with the lead in lane 2. He's a 49.48, two times under that Olympic trial standard. Saltman with the second, 49.55 for him, 49.48 for Luca Orlando, finishing in the lead in our top time through 2 heats. Heat 3. Heat 3, the men's 100 freestyle. Noah Kowski in 1, Hills in 2, Retiu in 3, Guerin in 4, Newmark in 5, Mackinnon in 6, Voss in 7, and Schott in 8. 49.48 top time so far, owned by Luca Orlando of Dart Swimming. Retiu out in a 23.44, very quick opening 50, 23.67 for Noah Kowski. 24.0. Newmark in 3rd, but everybody's looking at the speed of Retiu in lane 3. The Team Rebel Aquatics 23-year-old continues to lead as we hit the final 5 meters here. He's going to hang on to the lead. He does. 50.06. Dropped 2/10 from his seed time to win heat number 3. 50.16. Malkowski in lane 1. And then Hills with the third, 50.17. Heat 4. Sang in 1, Morris 2, Jack 3, Pinfold 4, House 5, Peroni 6, White 7, Benson in 8. First of our circle seated 100 freestyles on the men's side now underway, already halfway. And it's Jamie Jack, the Australian, out with a 23.38 leading the way. Peroni in second, 23.72 for him. Pinfold in third, 23.86. Jamie Jack continuing to look strong. He's got a good challenge coming from Blake Peroni of Indiana Swim Club in lane 6. Here comes Brett Pinfold to Swim Houston in lane 4 as well. At the touch, though, it's Peroni's 48.69 top time of the morning so far. 2 heats still to go. So Peroni sits atop the leaderboard for now. 48.97 for Jamie Jack in second. 49.24 for Brett Pinfold, finishing in third. And then a 49.59 Grant House also dipping under that Olympic trial standard. Punching the ticket. Finishing in fourth here in Heat 4. Heat 5. Second to last heat, men's 100 freestyle in the water. Condarelli in 1, Samuels 2, Gorman 3, Kulo 4, Maurer 5, Hawk 6, and DeBelle in 7, and Carroza in 8. (23-23), Gorman leads the way. The Aussie just 0.2 of a second ahead of Santo Condarelli, who's in 1. Jonathan Kula of Sun Devil Swimming, the 18-year-old in lane 4, trying to reel in Gorman as we hit the final few strokes of this Heat 5 100 freestyle. Going to be a tight finish here, but Kula gets the best of it. 49.16 for Kula, finishing in the lead. Everybody across the board got under that Olympic trials standard. You get an Olympic trial cut. You get an Olympic trial cut. 49.43, Luke Maurer in third. 49.28, Gorman in second. Heat 6. Sixth and final heat of the men's 100 freestyle. Hawk in 1, McGahee 2, Downing 3, Curry in 4, Novak in 6, Giuliani in 7, and Bray in 8. Brooks Curry with a big lead, 22.91 from the opening 50 meters. For the now former LSU swimmer, 23.76, Max Giuliani in second, but it's 0.8 of a second the lead for Curry at the 50. Brooks Curry, 14th fastest man in American history. He's going to touch at a 48.29. That is our top time. Heading into tonight's A final. Second place is Giuliani. The Aussie at 48.63, 49.86 for Jake McGahee. Finishing in third. There's 0.02 of a second between McGahee and Downing. Bulldog teammates going 3-4. Brooks Curry just over a 1/4 of a second off of his best time here in the prelims. Post the top time. We'll see who joins him in the A in just a moment. Now the wait is over just like that. Here are your A finalists in the men's 100 freestyle. Brooks Curry sits atop the leaderboard with a 48.29. Joining him in the A, Max Giuliani, Blake Peroni, Jamie Jack, Jonathan Kulo, Brett Pinfold, Jesse Gorman, and Luke Maurer. We'll keep moving without the scoreboard. Luca Orlando first into the B. Condarelli, Storkman, House, Hawk, McGahee, Downing, and Carroza all into that B final. A handful of ties, but all well positioned. No swim-offs on the men's side. C final, Hawk, Samuels, Dubele, Novak, Gratu, White, Nowakowski, and Hills. 50.17 got you a second swim in the men's 100 freestyle. Current time is 9:54. Gentlemen, you have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. We go from the 100 free to the 200. 200 breaststroke now. Women's two breast, two heats this morning. Heat 1. Breaststroke heat number 1 in the water. Aztec Aquatics, Christiana Williams in 1. Alicia Henry of Cal Aquatics in 2. Brianna Crawford of Indiana Swim Club in 3. Isabel Odgers of Trojan Swim Club in 4. Ella Ramsey of Australia in 5. Abigail Perscu of California Aquatics in 6. Hannah Bach, Ohio State in 7. And Margot McDonald in lane 8. Ramsey leads 110.6 at the 100. Rogers just behind by about a second and a half. 112 for her. 113, Brianna Crawford in third after the halfway mark here in Heat 1. Final turn, Ramsey a 39.2 on that third 50. Odgers a 38.6, closing the gap down to just a second between her and Ramsey. Only 2 heats this morning, so everybody will find their way in for a second swim. The differentiator will be who's in the A, who's in the B. Odgers closes the gap with each stroke. About a half a body length the lead for Ramsey still. We'll see if she hangs on for the Heat 1 win. She does indeed that. 229.54 for Ella Ramsey, 229.92. Isabel Odgers in second, 235.60. Brianna Crawford finishes in third. Ramsey will set the mark to beat for heat number 2 coming up in just a moment. Heat 2. Heat 2, our second and final heat, the women's 200 breaststroke. Emma Wine of Gator Swim Club is in 1. Channing Hanley of Longhorn Aquatics in 2. Katja Pafasevich of Triton's Aquatic Club in 3. Michaela Smith of Australia in 4. Josie Penance of Ohio State in 5. Caitlin Nguyen of Irvine Nova Aquatics in 6. Bobby Kennett of Aggie Swim Club in 7. And Jenna Fadley of the Princeton Tigers in lane 8. Smith out on a 112.00. Just over a second ahead of Penitz, who's in 5. Buckeye giving chase just ahead of the Longhorn Tanning Handley in lane 2. Olympic trial cut at 231.69. And we'll see with a 232.08 just outside of that trial cut. But here in heat 2, Michaela Smith leads the way. And he's building upon that lead as she hits the final turn. 38.7 on that third 50. Very consistent. 39.6 for Penitz on the third. 40.1 for Handley. But Penitz and Handley now over 2 seconds behind the Australian Michaela Smith, who's leading the way. Ella Ramsey from heat number 1. The Australian heat 1 winner, 229.5. We'll see if that is the top mark. .230.01, so it'll be Ellen Ramsey who sits atop the leaderboard for tonight's A final. Emma Wyatt touching in second at a 233.1. And then Caitlin Wynn of Irvine Nova Aquatics touches in third at a 233.54. Just like that, the women's 200 breaststroke is all wrapped up. We'll put a nice bow on it with the A and B finals in just a moment. All right, let's take a look now at our A final in the women's 200 breaststroke. There they are. Ella Ramsey, your top seed. Isabel Odgers, Michaela Smith, Emma Wyatt, Caitlin Wynn, Josie Penitz, Channing Handley, and Brianna Crawford. 235.6 to get into the A. Your B finalists, Herskut, Henry, McDonald, Williams, Pavasevich, Fadlink, Kenneth, and Bach. Current time, ladies, is 10:03. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. On to the men's 200 breaststroke. 7 heats this morning for the men. Heat 1. Michael Deans of the University of Alabama in 4. Hank Rivers of Cal Aquatics in 5. And Joey Carberick, Cardinal Community in 6.
I think that one got hurt himself.
Michael Deans wins heat number 1, 2:16.78 for him. Heat 2. Matthew Siegel of Wisconsin Aquatics in 1. Ethan Maloney of Virginia Tech in 2. Jacob Sonderland, Cal Aquatics in 3. Joseph Hong of Virginia Tech in 4. Evan Yu of Alpha Aquatics in lane 6. Sean Swift, California Aquatics in 7. And Toby Barnett of Indiana Swim Club in 8. Maloney winning heat number 2. Getting under that Olympic trial time. 2:15.10 for him, 2:15.70. Sean Swift also sneaking under the qualifying standard, finishing in 2nd here in heat number 2. Heat 3. Heat 3 of the men's 200 breaststroke underway. Irvine Nova Aquatics, Jonas Miley, lane 1. Carl Helmuth of Ohio State in 2. Jason Schreiber of Trojan Swim Club in 3. Daniel Garcia-Ruiz of Ohio State in 4. Ray Whitaker of Boilermaker Aquatics in 5. Jonathan Cook of Alto Swim Club in 6. Michael Phillips, Aquajets in 7. Cohen Rankin of Army West Point in lane 8. Phillips leads at the 100, 102.66, 105.41. Cohen Rankin well behind that lead. Michael Phillips, 2:15.88. Sliding under that Olympic trial cut by a 1/10 of a second. Dropping almost 2 seconds from his seed time to get there on his way to a Heat 3 heat win. Heat 4. Heat 4, men's 200 breaststroke. Nate German-Frensov, Longhorn Aquatics in 1. Kyle Brill of Rose Bowl Aquatics in 2. Trenton Julian, Mission Viejo in 3. Jerry Chin, University of Pittsburgh in 4. Nathan Holtby of Ohio State in 5. Maximilian Pilger of Indiana Swim Club in 6. Truman DeTuitz, Wisconsin Aquatics in 7. And Luke Barr of Indiana Swim Club in 8. Luke Barr leads at 100 meters, 104.32 for him, 104.34 for Pilger. He had lane 6. Jim Prize 104.5. 3 sub-105s here in heat number 4. Opening up. Already had a handful of Olympic trial standards be met. Final turn, Pilger's back in the lead, 34.8 on that third 50. Passing Barr, who's now in second. Jim Prez continues to be in third, but he's about a second back from the lead of Pilger. 2:15.10, the top time so far on the men's side. Virginia Tech's Ethan Maloney, the owner of that time. Booger seated with a 2:16.74. He's going to touch it at 2:14.78. A great swim. Our top time of the morning belongs to him. Another Olympic trial cut accomplished, this time by Luke Barr of Indiana Swim Club, 2:15.45. Dropping over a second and a half to find that mark. Heat 5. Heat 5 of the men's 200 breaststroke. Logan Utke of the University of Missouri in 1. Daniel Lee of Rose Bowl Aquatics in 2. Brandon Fisher, Tri-Valley Aquatics in 3. Will McCone of Longhorn Aquatic in 4. Nick Mahaber of Elite Coronado in 5. Jack Kelly of Empire Swimming in 6. Pavel Romanov of Alpha Aquatics in 7. And Vincent Rivera of Aggie Swim Club in lane 8. Mahaber leads the way, 29.75 for him. McCone was in second at the 50, 29.9, 30.00. Jack Kelly on the first 50. It's LeCon now in the lead, 103.1. To the second ahead of Mahaber in lane 5. Jack Kelly continuing to hold on to third place, a quarter of a second back from your leader, LeCon. Will LeCon, the fifth fastest man in American history. 2:07.62 that he swam at the 2019 Pan American Games, his personal best. Final turn for LeCon. The lead is still just ahead of Mahaber, who's now a quarter of a second back. Jack Kelly splits a 34.8. Mahaber a 34.2 and LeCon a 34.1. Down to the final 25 meters. 2:14.78 is the top time so far this morning. This will be our new top time. Question is, who's getting their hands on the wall first? Mahaber or LeCon? 17-year-old taking on the 28-year-old now. Under the flags. And at the touch, it is LeCon, 2:11.72. 0.2 of a second separating him and Mahaber. Third is 2:14.25 for Jack Kelly. Daniel Lee of Rose Bowl Aquatics jumps a few spots to finish in fourth at a 2:15.29. Heat 6. Heat 6 in the water. Ohio State's Billy Reggett in 1. Chris O'Grady of the Spartans in 2. Colin Ferry of Dallas Mustangs in 3. Jake Foster of the Mason Manta Rays in 4. Jason Lauser of California Aquatics in 5. Joshua Young of Australia in 6. Danny Beji of Team Rebel in 7. And Harry Herrera of Indiana Swim Club in lane 8. 29.65, Jake Foster leading the way. Foster won a best time last night, 59.64, breaking the 1 minute mark for the first time in his career. Mahaber, who we just saw finish second to LeCon in that previous heat, was second in the 100 breaststroke a night ago. Foster's best time, a 2:09.00 from last year's national championships in this pool. He's a top 15 all-time swimmer in American history in this event. He's out fast, 103.38 for Foster. Jason Lauser right there with him as well, 103.55 for Lauser of California Aquatics. 104.23 for the Australian Joshua Young, who's in lane 6. But two sub-104 performances, similar to what we saw in the last heat. This time, Foster and Lauser, the owners of those swims. Coming up on the final turn, and Jake Foster has found another gear. 33.1 on the third 50. Negative splitting the middle 100. Like I said, Foster's best time, a 2:09.00. He's probably not going to eclipse that, but he's going to be pretty close, setting himself up well for tonight's A final. Top time so far is Will Lacone's 2:11.72. Will Foster get under that? He's going to cruise into a heat win, 2:11.91, so he won't pass Lacone, but he will find himself well positioned for a great swim this evening. Lauser in second at a 2:13.31. 2:13.67 for Josh Young of Australia, finishing in third. And that sets us up nicely for our seventh and final heat in just a moment. Heat 7. Swimming in your seventh and final heat, Lakeside swim teams Will Schultz in 1, William Petrick of Australia in 2, Ben Dillard of Trojan Swim Club in 3, Charlie Swanson, Nova, Virginia in 4, Max Reich of Indiana Swim Club in 5, Hyde Buckingham of Australia in 6, Jed Garner of Tennessee Aquatics in 7, Xavier Ruiz of Ridgefield Aquatic Club in 8. Swanson leads the way, 29.59. Swanson a tenth of a second ahead of Rush in lane 5. Ben Dillard in lane 3, also out along with Swanson, 29.88. 3 sub-30s on the opening 50 here in the seventh and final heat of the men's 200 breaststroke. Swanson still in the lead, 103.07. Best time, a 2:08.84. Last year at the International Team Trials in Greensboro is when that swim happened for Swanson. And that also made him the 10th fastest man in American history in this event. Still a great battle here. Ryan Dillard right behind Swanson. Lanes 3, 4, and 5. Final turn. Swanson still got that lead. It's only a tenth of a second as he's out split 34.3 to 34.1 by Rush in lane 5. Going to come down to the final few strokes here. A huge underwater and burst of speed from Rush in lane number 5. He's seated with a 2:10.94. 2:11.72 is the best of the morning. That belongs to Will Lacone. Huge tempo change. Rush is going to win it. And he's going to go a 2:11.74, 2/100ths of a second behind Lacone, so he'll be second heading into tonight's A final. 2:12.50 for Charlie Swanson, finishing in second here in Heat 7, and a 2:13.66 for Ben Dillard, finishing in third. It's going to be a crowded A final with some big names and big talent in the men's 200 breaststroke. We'll see exactly who made it back in just a few moments. A finalists in the men's 200 breaststroke. There they are. 2:13.67 to make it back. Will Lacombe, Mac Rice, Nick Mahabir, Jake Foster, Charlie Swanson, Jason Lauser, Ben Dillard, and Joshua Young. B finalists, 2:15.44 to make the B. Kelly, Pilger, Petrick, O'Grady, Maloney, Ferry, Lee, and Garner. And then here are your C finalists, 2:16.05. It almost took an Olympic trial standard to make it into the C final. Barr, Fisher, Romanov, Schultz, Swift, Herrera, Phillips, and Ruiz. Gentlemen, current time, 10:26. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. Breaststroke's all wrapped up, so we go now to butterfly. Women's 200-meter butterfly, 3 heats this morning. Heat 1. Heat 1 of the women's 2 butterfly. Pittsburgh Sydney Graney in 1. Kira Summerstein and Alyssa Graves, both of Ohio State, in lanes 2 and 3. Emma Stinklin of Longhorn Aquatics in 4. Rachel Klinker of Cal Aquatics in 5. Alex Massey rounds out Heat 1 in lane 7, representing Nashville Aquatic Club. Sticklin out 28.72, leading the way here. Olympic trial standard of 2:13.69. Top 3 seeds in this event, all Longhorns. So 3 Longhorns, 3 Australians in the A final of the 100 butterfly. We'll see what we get in the 200 butterfly. Sticklin leading the way out in a 1:01.63 in the opening 100 meters. She finished 3rd in the 100 butterfly last night, 58.17. A 2.5 lead over Rachel Klinker. Graves in 3rd, 1:37.9 at the 150. Just under 2 seconds behind the lead of Sticklin. Klinker a 2.5 behind. This has been all Emma Sticklin from the start. She was out fast and has given none of that lead back so far. Final 15 meters for her here in heat number 1. Seated with a 2:08.28. It's going to be right around 2:10, maybe a 2:09. Yep, 2:09.86 for Emma Sticklin. A strong finish for her. That's going to be the time to beat with 2 heats still to go in the women's 200 butterfly. Alyssa Graves finishing in 2nd with that Olympic trial standard of 2:12.94, under 2:13.69. 3rd, a 2:14.15 for Alex Massey, besting her seed time by 0.3 to take 3rd. Heat 2. Maya Bruzzo of Plymouth White Marsh Aquatics in lane 2. Here in heat 2, Kelly Pash of Longhorn Aquatics in lane 4, our 100 butterfly champ. Leah Gingrich of Keystone Aquatics in lane 5. Greta Pelzik of Gamecock Aquatics in lane 6. Kat Minnick of Indiana Swim Club in 7. And Lucy Malice of Ohio State in 8. Pash out in the lead at the 50, 29.30, 0.7 of a second ahead of Minnick. Minnick of Indiana Swim Club, the 19-year-old in lane 7. About a 1/10 of a second ahead of the Gamecock. Greta Pelzik in lane 6. Pelzic's made some moves into the lead. 102.51 for her at the 100-meter mark. 102.56. Kelly Pash now in second. Leah Gingrich also moving up from fourth to third. She's a 104.00. Here's the final turn. Pash is taking the lead back over. 33.9 on that third 50. Pelzic a 35.2, trying to hang on to her lead over Leah Gingrich, who's in third with a 34.0 on that third 50. 209.86 is the top time turned in from Heat 1. Emma Sticklin, the owner of that. Her teammate Kelly Pash trying to dethrone her right now. Down to the final, about 10 meters here in heat number 2 of 3 in the women's 200 butterfly. Pash will win it at a 2:10.09. Good for second overall this morning. Pelzic gets the Olympic trial standard and her second place finish, 2:11.75. And then a 2:12.28. Leah Gingrich finishes in third, rounding out heat number 2. Heat 3. Third and final heat of the women's 200 butterfly. Maggie Shallow of Irvine Nova Aquatics in 2. Lily Nordman of Alto Swim Club in 3. Dakota Luther of Longhorn Aquatics in 4. Brittany Castelluzzo of Australia in 5. Mackenzie McConaughey of Wisconsin in 6. And Lizzie Cook of Cal Aquatics in lane 7. The lead belongs to the Australian. Castelluzzo's 29.00 on the opening 50 meters, just ahead of Dakota Luther by 7/100 of a second. Castelluzzo part of that A final in the 100 butterfly a night ago. Luther finishing 5th in the 100 fly. Lily Nordman also in that A final a night ago. She's out in third at the 50, 29.21. Luther wasting little time to get back into the lead. She's out 101.7 on the opening 100 meters. A very strong start. Nordman now in second, 102.4 for her first 100, and then a 102.9 for Castelluzzo, who's now in third. Final turn, Dakota Luther's well in the lead and trending toward our best time. 209.86 is the current best time of the morning. Emma Sticklin, the owner of that, submitted it in heat number 1. Luther, 12th fastest woman in American history in this event at a 2:07.0, looking to best it in the final 15 meters here in heat number 3. Showing no signs of slowing down is Dakota Luther. She's going to touch it at 2:08.71. That is our best time of the morning. She'll sit atop the leaderboard as we head to that A final later this evening. Nordman in second at a 2:12.54. And then Castelluzzo finishes in third at a 2:13.01. Just a few moments, and we'll let you know the rest of the A final as well as the B and C finalists in the women's 200 butterfly. All right, let's take a look now at the A final. 2:13.01 to make it into the A. And to be under that Olympic trial standard just to see A final action. 3 Longhorns atop the leaderboard. Dakota Luther, Emma Sticklin, and Kelly Pash. Joining them, Greta Pelzic, Leah Gingrich, Lily Nordman, Alyssa Graves, and Brittany Castelluzzo. B finalists now: Massey, Klinker, Cook, Minnick, Abruzzo, Somerset, Shallow, and Malice. 2:16.97 to make it into the B. McConaughey and Gring, your C finalists in the women's 200 butterfly. 10:36 is the current time, ladies. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. One more event to go this morning, and that is event number 32, the men's 200 butterfly. We're looking at 4 heats. Heat 1. Heat 1 in the water, Charlie Jones of Wisconsin Aquatics in 4, and Clayton Conklin of Aggie Swim Club in lane 5. Wrap it up, heat number 1 here in the men's 200 butterfly. Clayton Conklin will take the heat win, 2:01.60, 2:03.38 for Charlie Jones. Heat 2. Longhorn Aquatics in 4, Sam Artman. His teammate is in 5. Drew Ryder of Indiana Swim Club in 6, Adam Muller of University of Pittsburgh in 7, and Holden Smith of Longhorn Aquatics in lane 8. Martinez leads after 50 meters, 26.22 on the opening touch, 26.52. Sterling Crane in second. 300 behind him is Adam Muller of Pitt in lane 7. Crane takes the lead, 56.5 on the opening 100 meters here in heat number 2. 56.82 for Angel Martinez. 56.89, Mahler in third. Final turn, another new leader, Sam Artman this time, another Longhorn. He's at 30.5 on that third 50, passing his teammate Sterling Crane, who's now in second. Adam Mahler continues to be within striking distance, sitting in third at that final turn. Martinez in 2, trying to charge, as is Mahler in 7. But right now the edge continues to belong to Sam Artman. Hartman will touch with the heat win, 159.33, our first sub 2 minute of the day. On top seed with 2 heats still to go. Crane second, 2:00:32. Also dipping under that Olympic trial standard. Both Longhorns. 2:00:82. Adam Mahler finishes in third here in heat 2. Heat 3. Australia in 2, Cottonfields, the Dallas Mustangs in 3, Aiden Hayes of Wolfpack Elite in 4, Landon Gentry of Virginia Tech in 5, Jay Litherland of Sun Devil Swimming in 6, and Caleb Ellis of Ohio State in 7. Halfway through heat 3, 55.68. Aiden Hayes leads the way. 56.34. Landon Gentry, 0.6 of a second back right now. Litherland in the mix there. 57.0 for him on the opening 100. Litherland, of course, won that 400 IM by almost 5 seconds a night ago, showing man can pretty much do anything at this point. He continues to hold on to that third spot, about 1.5 seconds behind the lead of Hayes, but only 1/4 of a second behind the Hokie Landon Gentry in lane 5. Top time 1:59.33 so far, belonging to Sam Artman of the Longhorns. That time is in jeopardy here, as Aiden Hayes has looked cool, calm, and collected. Right up to that touch of 1:58.51. That is our top time with 1 heat still to go for Aiden Hayes. Good prelim swim for him. Second is a 1:59.24 for Jay Litherland, finishing in a 31.1. Cotton Fields finishes very strong as well, 1:59.53 for him, adding to the list of sub 2 minute performances this morning. Heat 4. Final race of this prelim session in the water now. Tona Zinn of SoCal Aquatics Association in 1. Ascanio Fernandez Urbina of La Loma Querétaro in lane 2. Connor McKenna of Princeton Tigers in 3. Trenton Julian, top seed, is in 4 from Mission Viejo. Colby Mefford of Cal Aquatics in 5. Ryan Brannon of Longhorn Aquatics in 6. Trey Dickey of Aggie Swim Club in 7. And Nicholas Lim, another Princeton Tiger, in lane 8. Mefford leads the way, 26.0 on the first 50 meters. McKenna in second. Princeton Tiger out in a 26.2. And then Tona Zinn in lane 1 out in a 26.71. The 19-year-old Zinn seated with a 2:01.00, looking for that Olympic trial standard of 2:00:49. Mefford continues to lead. McKenna continues to be in second. The lead has grown. 56.5 for Mefford on the opening 100. As McKenna is out in a 57.1. Zinn in a 57.2. Trey Dickey also out in a 57.2. And then Trenton Julian sitting in 5th at the halfway mark. One of the fastest men in American history in this event. 5th fastest to be precise. Trenton Julian got some work to do. Mefford still leading the way, 30.4 on that third 50. He even split the middle 100 to go a 1:00.9. Model of consistency. Trenton Julian is charging in lane 4. Top time, 1:58.51. Wolfpack Elite's Aiden Hayes, the owner of that time. Trenton Julian making up a lot of ground on every stroke. He's not going to get the heat win, but he will get a little bit closer to being in that A final as he breaks under the 2-minute mark along with Trey Dickey. But it's Colby Meffer with the heat win, 158.66. Not quite enough to unseat Aiden Hayes, so Hayes will be our top seed heading into tonight's A final in the men's 200 butterfly. Final few sets of T's to cross and I's to dot, and we'll let you know the A, B, and C finalists in just a moment. All right, let's take a look at the A finalists now. 200.077 men under 2 minutes this morning. There they are. Aiden Hayes, your top seed. Joining him, Colby Mefford, Trenton Julian, Jay Litherland, Sam Artman, Cotton Fields, Trey Dickey, and Ascanio Fernandez Erbina. B finalists now 201.47 to find your way into the B. Gentry, Crane, McKenna, Mahler, Martinez, Zen, Vegas, and Homans. Leading second swims in the B final, and then C finals. Conklin, Kopp, Brannon, Ellis, Smith, Jones, Ryder, and Coleman. Gentlemen, current time 10:47. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. Time trials will officially begin at 11:16, not 11:15, 11:16. Make sure you're there on time for time trials. Thanks for joining us for our final prelim session of the week. Finals this evening begin at 5 p.m., but the distance session begins at 2:45. We'll see our 1,500 swimmers there. Have a great afternoon, everybody.